Hey, this is Christina Feliciano with Feliciano and Friends. I have my friend Charlene Jordan here. She is a wife, mama, and a successful owner of 3 different businesses. So we are going to talk to her about all of her success and some other things that are pretty near and dear to her heart. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So what inspired you to start your first business, and how did you get to running from 1 to 3 companies?
So honestly, I never thought I would even thought about running a business until a friend of mine got sick. So I worked in ophthalmology for about 17 years, and a friend of mine was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. She was only 40 years old, and she was a single mom, working as hard as she could to provide for them. And then she ended up passing away pretty quickly. It was a 3-month process from diagnosis to her passing away. And watching the way the company we worked for was able to just quickly, end her benefits mid-treatment, and, basically be ready to replace her while she was still battling cancer. It was just overwhelming to me. And I was like, I could never be in this position. Not only could I not be in that position, I could never put my family in that position. So I was like, I've got to do something that I can have like long-term goals and be able to provide for my family. And then if something were to happen to me, they would be able to take over and provide for their own selves. So that was kind of the logic behind it. And then we started out with the roofing company. My husband had been in roofing for many, many years, so we knew all our ways around it. And so I was like, okay, let's start there. We know, we can provide financially, and we could build something that can go through generations.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you say that because I haven't really talked about this much, but my husband, before he died, we had been both working for the government, and you always hear you can't lose a government job, but we had both lost our government jobs.
Yes.
With the Indian Health Service up in within a couple of weeks of him dying, and that also too to me was wait a second, that's not nothing's safe. Yes. I want to be able to provide for myself and my kids and my future grandchildren, because if this the safest job ever, which is supposed to be a government position, isn't safe, then so I can it's a different story, but I can relate to
and it's
that.
Definitely whenever you we personally my husband and I both had very traumatic childhood, so we don't have anyone we can fall back on. We have no one that's oh, I can't pay my light bill, who can help us? There's no one. Exactly. There's no one. So to know that, and then to know that we have to make sure that our kids never have to be oh, I have no one, I have nothing. So it's we got to make something.
Yeah, no, I can really relate. I didn't know that about you. I can really relate, because that's kind of my entrepreneurial drive too, is for similar reasons. So you have, let's talk about gym therapy first. So how did gym therapy get?
So gym therapy originated.
And explain what gym therapy is. So I know what it is, but for the audience.
Gym therapy is a athleisure fitness brand, and there's also some swimwear and different things. I do a lot of custom stuff, custom uniforms for baseball teams locally and things like that. But it originated because I resigned after my friend passed away. I gave the company I had been working for 90 days, and I was I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. Okay, but behind the scenes, I had already been during the process of grieving her, we had already been kind of trying to build the roofing company. Okay. Well, we knew it was going to be a slow start. That's just the nature of construction. Yeah. You have to get your name out there and things. So I really was diving into weightlifting and stuff during that time, and I was constantly having to make my own adjustments to clothes because I'm short and strong. So I'm sitting here nothing's comfortable. Yeah. And then I was always adjusting my own clothes and things, and then I was I think I can make my own clothing line. And then my girls, both my daughters, they were definitely oh yeah, you can do it, you can do it. And so then I was oh, let's just try it. And then it was kind of the gym was my safe place. Everywhere else I would go, even being here, my anxiety kicks in. Everywhere I go. So whether I'm going to the grocery store or where, but when I walked into the gym, I was this is I belong here. This is where I feel comfortable. So then I was so why let what I'm wearing or just anything else be making me uncomfortable? So I was let's find something that we can make for everyone, and everyone be able to realize okay, we can do this. We're comfortable in here.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what is the website for that?
Shopgymtherapy.com.
Okay, and you have an Instagram for that
Mm-hmm.
too. All right.
And it's Shop Gym Therapy as well, and Facebook as well.
And then how did the Jordan Roofing, when did that start?
So
and how long has that been going on?
So we started in 2019, and we thankfully have been able to grow each year. It's been an amazing journey. Like, it's been a huge blessing. Like, sometimes it's unreal. Like, sometimes I'm like, we really did this. Like, we really built this from nothing. Like, and you know.
And how long have you and your husband been together for?
So my husband and I, in March, we will celebrate our 21st wedding anniversary.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
So we've been together since we were kids, and we got married while we were still in high school.
Oh wow!
So we got married our senior year because we were like, he pushed me to finish school. I pushed him. We literally both kind of left home very young and moved in together, and we didn't have anyone saying, get up and go to school or anything.
She got married really young too.
Mm-hmm.
19.
19. Yeah. So we were like, whenever I walked across that stage, I wanted his last name because I knew, I was like, I wouldn't have got here if it weren't for you. So
that's like really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me want to cry. And it's amazing you guys are still together.
Yeah, he is my biggest supporter. I don't know. I feel like he could never let me fail. Like, never. Like, it's like, even the days that I feel like I can't do this, like by the one time him hearing me say, like, I've just had enough, this day is enough, then it's like that situation never happened. So he definitely keeps me going. So
that's amazing. And then how many kids do you have?
We have 3.
All right. And how old are they?
So we are about to celebrate milestone birthdays for all of them.
Oh wow!
So our youngest is 14, so she'll be 15 in December, and our son is 17 and he'll be 18 in February.
Okay.
And then our oldest is 19 and she's gonna have her golden birthday in January. She'll be 20.
Okay.
So
Nice. When in January?
January 20th.
Okay.
So we do.
My baby's the 21st.
Do you know what golden birthdays are?
I don't.
So a golden birthday is when you turn the age of your day of birth. So her birthday is the 20th, so she'll be 20 on the 20th this year. And for us, we always celebrate really big for the golden birthday, and so she thinks she's getting something huge, but she's probably not.
She's watching it. Don't get too excited.
She thinks in her mind, she's like, "Oh, this is my golden birthday," and what a great age to have a golden birthday, 20. Whenever your birthday's on the 9th, it's like, oh, you're 9 years old. What's but 20th, 21st, those are huge golden birthdays. So I'm excited
that's
for that.
super cool. I love that. And then what about the Jordan Lawn?
So Jordan Lawn here, we actually. So my son, he's played baseball his whole life, and he decided to take a summer off whenever he was 15 off from travel ball, and that was the first summer he had ever not played baseball. And so we were like, we gotta keep him busy. And one of the neighbors was like, he's so good at everything. Yeah. And so he was over there. He had him over there doing paver work. He had him doing all kinds of stuff. And he was like, your son is like a hard worker. You can really do something. Like, he could really build something for him. And so I was like, let's just go start cutting the neighbors' yards. And so we did, just for fun. Me and him, we're literally out there in the summer heat cutting grass, and then all of a sudden one person would refer someone else, and before we knew it, we were getting acre yards, and we were pushing them. We had push mowers.
Oh my goodness.
And then we were like, okay. But my husband was like, nope, if he wants to do it, he's gotta figure out a way. So we kept pushing him. He was saving. And then I was like, okay, now it's time. We gotta really open a business for this. And then he saved up and bought all his own equipment.
And he's 17 right now.
He's 17 now.
This is awesome.
So he's 2 years in.
Yeah.
He pretty much runs it for the most part. I'll do the routing and stuff, but he has a crew, and it's just.
That's amazing.
He is averaging about 155 yards a month right now.
Wow.
So he's killing it.
This is awesome. I didn't know how much we had in common as far as vision had in common, because a lot of like why even I'm doing like the Feliciano and Friends is trying to have just different people. So when my kids become adults, which my oldest is gonna be 18 in a year and a half, to open up opportunities for them. And I always talk about it. If they have an interest in any sort of business, I want to like teach them entrepreneurship. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was very upfront with us about his plans after high school. He was going to private school, and he was like, "Y'all are paying for school for no reason. I don't want to go to college." And I was like, "College is not for everyone. I'm definitely not going to discourage you from going. But
for sure.
If you already have your mindset, like I'm not going to force you to do something."
Well, exactly. If you want to do business, there's not really. I mean, if you want to do something like a position or like so you need a profession, but like something like if you want to be an entrepreneur, not.
Yeah. So then whenever I wanted to teach him quick. Once he made that decision, I was like, you're gonna have to work hard. Yeah. You have to work hard. If you're not gonna go to college, you have to work hard. Like that's your option. You're either gonna work hard or you're gonna go to college and end up working hard anyway.
You're gonna work hard in this family.
So I'm like, let's just figure it out. And then he took off with it. So I'm like, okay, well, he's doing it. So. I think now he's kind of like, oh, I think I might want to go to, the fire academy and things like that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like now you have the foundation. Yeah. So you have a crew, you can count on if you can't show up, they can be there and then you can be doing what you need to get done. And
well, the great parenting. Oh, that's amazing.
That's like my only goal in life.
Right. Those babies.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So what would you recommend? So people like, part of the reason I did this podcast, or when I interview people, is I always think sometimes people see people that are successful and they think like I could never I don't know if I'm doing a great job, but I try to ask questions of like how you got there. So why do you think that you've been so successful in these 3 businesses?
So I think there's a lot of like moving parts to that, but I think for me personally, like I've been like extremely transparent with things. Like I never leave any surprises out there. Like even when it comes to like a roofing project, not every customer may be a great candidate for it to be your customer. You may not be a great, great fit. So like I always, make sure that the customers know, these are our expectations. This is what we are going to do for you, and these are the possible risk of doing anything else if you want to add things on, or if you want to make adjustments. And then, you'd always run into those people too that will, I want to save money, so I want to take this shortcut. We don't do shortcuts. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't. And, if you want to save money and take a shortcut, I completely understand, but I can give you some recommendations of maybe some people you can talk to. But I think that's just big. It's just like being very transparent with.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. So. Because the last thing you want is, I didn't know that. No one told me that. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to do business with someone that didn't tell me, either.
Exactly.
So.
And that's where I'm like, my prices are more expensive than a lot of places, but I guarantee. And then people at the beginning were like, well, you don't want to guarantee because you don't want to give me back. I'm like, I will. If I need to, I will. I don't want to, so that's going to push me to hopefully not have to give money back. But I'm going to guarantee, and I'm going to put my name behind it. And if people aren't satisfied, then I will return their money. But I'm going to do everything in my power, and I don't really return money much at all because I do everything in my power to make sure that they are satisfied.
And that alone gives you value. Like your name is your value.
It is.
Like if you cannot like stand behind your own whatever you had already promised somebody, then
exactly.
I mean that just says a lot about just like the person that you are if you can't honor what you have told someone. So.
No, and that's where you have that too. And even like today, like I always like, and Izzy knows this, like, and I haven't had that many people like I go through sometimes staff kind of quick, but it's the biggest thing is that I'm like these patients, nothing I do is unique in Jacksonville. There's other places to get Botox and filler and weight loss and testosterone. There's nothing I do that is unique. So they're choosing to come to us. So we have to give them utmost respect and appreciation if they are right, and if you that's the number one. And like make them feel valued because they could go else. It's not like I have this service that is super novelty.
Yes.
So
and even I mean that was like a whole lesson. Like even with all of my kids, my daughters will help me a lot with gym therapy, especially for events and things like that. And then my son basically running the lawn care side of things. It's always like I'm always like making sure they understand like the customer is always right.
Exactly.
I don't care if they're wrong. They're not.
Exactly.
They're not.
Yeah,
they're not
exactly.
wrong. They're always right.
No,
it may not be the way that you thought it should be.
Yeah.
But put yourself in their shoes, and then.
No, exactly. So no, we're on the same side on that. And then, you have a common thread or philosophy that ties all your businesses together. Work hard, right?
Yeah. I mean, primarily work hard. And
No, you're okay. What about this upcoming event that you're doing October 25th, and it's with gym therapy? And I know that, and I've been seeing on social media, but I don't know too much. I know that you're a big advocate speaking out against addiction and how it adversely affects families and also domestic violence. So can you talk a little bit about that in this event?
So the event coming up is definitely like very emotional. Like my emotions have been everywhere with it, just getting it started, but like emotions in the best of ways, honestly, because it's like I know how many people are impacted by domestic violence. Like it's crazy to think, like, because people think of an epidemic as like an illness or something, but domestic violence is definitely something that everyone is affected by.
Yes.
I mean, statistically, they say 1 in 4 women, 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men are victim of some sort. So with that, I mean, with those numbers, it's just surreal. And then to know that even if it's not you personally, someone, even if you don't know who it is, someone is dealing with this. And so as far as the event goes, it's for everyone, but I know a lot of people will continue to see me put Ashley's name in it.
Yeah, can you tell me about Ashley?
So Ashley was my little sister's best friend. She was like a sister to us. Like my kids called her aunt. They didn't know any different until she passed away. Their whole lives until her passing away, they thought she was one of our sisters. That's how close you were. That's how close we all were. And so she had lost a job, and I didn't know it was because of a guy she was dating. And so then I hired her to work with me, and so she was working with me, and immediately, I saw all the signs, like immediately. And within a week of her working for me, she no-called, no-showed. And when she no-called, no-showed to work, and she knew how strict I was, she was like I was calling her, blowing her up, and then went to go find her because I knew something was not right. And whenever I found her, she was beaten unconscious and just left there. And she had to have multiple surgeries. And I'm going to give a little shout out to 2 of the surgeons that really stepped up, and they didn't have to. Yeah. But Dr. Pepero, who is an ophthalmologist, he showed up immediately. And then he had one of his colleagues, friends, Dr. Basil, show up to do reconstructive surgery, and she had no insurance because she hadn't been working very long. She was a weekend, and then but they took it upon themselves to come and be there, and so that she knew that she had people that were there in her corner. Fast forward to a couple months later, she did end up going and getting another job because he was not happy with the fact that we were advocating for her
to leave.
So whenever she did go to another job within 3 months of her not having me right there. Yeah. Not that I can say, oh, I would have made a difference because, you just don't know what people are capable of. But he did kill her and attempted to kill her sister, who her sister did survive. She has been through a lot, but they, and it took 5 years for us to get any kind of justice, and no justice is enough justice, but he is serving consecutive life sentences.
What's his name?
Chad Absher.
Yeah, that's right.
So a lot of people knew him as T. And the crazy thing was we had known him our whole life as well, like my husband and I. And we knew what he was capable of. The minute that I found out that's who she was dating, I mean, it was like seeing a ghost, because I had thought he was already locked up. Yeah. But because he had shot at his previous girlfriend. But because he didn't kill her, he only did 2 years. Wow. 2 years. And it took him trying to kill 2 people and successfully killing 1 before they, locked him up for good. So and I mean, I've lost friends over it. Like I mean, which is okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
feel like he had some support, didn't he?
He did.
It was wild.
And support. He did because he was such a great
leader.
He was such a great leader.
Because I remember, I know some family members of his.
Yes.
And I remember, like, I didn't know the details, but I'm like, this is kind of wild that
they walked out. They walked out at the court when the evidence was presented. They walked out. Then they realized, wow, I washed my hands of it, And I'm sure, some family probably still are there for him, but it's like. But knowing that you sat there and defended someone for so long, and then you see it in your face, and you're like, wow, it was definitely him. Then it's, I mean, and the state attorney, she was just incredible, and without her, without her, I don't even know what would have happened, but she was incredible. Like, she put the nail in the coffin, so. And
I don't and as I've talked to other friends with this, because I have a friend's sister that also was murdered, and she had actually gotten restraining orders the whole 9 years, done everything right, and he ended up, she was staying at her parents' house, came through the door, killed her in the parents' house. So what when you're raising it, what do you think the solution is to this?
I think
because I do know women are the most risk. I always tell friends who are leaving abusive relationships, don't let them know.
Yeah.
Plan it all out and leave, and do not let him know, because you're at the most risk of getting killed in the process of leaving. I do know that.
I mean, the solutions I have are probably something that wouldn't ever take place. But I feel that one big end to it would be, don't make the victim have to be the one that presses charges. I feel like that's such a big thing, because they're already so scared of this individual. So even if they get a restraining order or anything like that, it's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. What are they going to do? Hold it up to them? Don't come in. I have this piece of paper.
No, exactly. And it's like she puts you at more risk sometimes. It's not, it doesn't protect you at all.
And, I mean, even I was at risk. When everything was going on when she was working for me, I left work one day, and he had a little lawn company.
Yeah.
Whatever, and he blocked my car in. He had his trailer parked long ways, had to be blocked in, and I was like, dude, get out of my way. Get out of my way. And then he immediately pulled his gun, and it ended up being the same gun that he shot her with.
Wow.
That he pulled on me. And in my mind, I was like I called his bluff. It didn't even, and I still to this day, I'm like, when, seeing that gun in Fort, made me realize how blessed I was. It could have been me,
for sure.
And he put it right back down as soon as I laughed at him, and he left. But it was him trying to, they don't, people, they're reckless,
Yeah, and I think, I think that more women should also have their own weapons to protect themselves. Yes. And I have a friend that actually, too, that happened, where also a restraining order, but when he broke into the house, she was able to protect herself and kill it. So she didn't get killed. And I don't think that's talked enough about, because I do think that these men are dangerous, and I don't think it's talked about enough that you probably should get a concealer, have a weapon to protect yourself, because they can't kill you.
Yeah.
And
then you have to worry too is if they get a hold of your weapon, especially if it's somebody that's already a convicted felon. He shouldn't have even had a gun. And then,
no, for sure. But I just feel like that there's not enough talk about make sure try at least try to be prepared to protect yourself, and
just also know, because
that's how I think. And I'm just if it's you or me, it's not going to be me if I can help it. And I just think there's so much this and that, and go to the shelter, go to that shelter, and I'm stay in your house and have a gun to protect yourself.
Yes, I stay protected. Yeah. And even during that time where he was on the run, he was on the run for 2.5 days, and we were under complete surveillance. We didn't know who he was coming after next. We couldn't send our kids to school. Yeah. Nothing. And it's just crazy. Somebody was that crazy to be out there, and everybody always wants to say great. He tried that. He tried to do the insanity thing at one point, and I was so quick to say, he's a monster. There's a difference between being a monster and being crazy.
Yeah,
he's not crazy. He's a monster. And they wouldn't let me say that in court. You weren't allowed to use the word monster. In Florida, you're not allowed.
You're not?
Yeah, you're not allowed. They had to redact that from.
Huh.
Yeah, so I was like, this is my whole spiel.
Yeah, right.
That's
wild.
Yeah. But you know, he blew a kiss at us and during the trial.
That's
and all
really
this stuff,
fucking
like,
evil.
just,
That's evil.
Like,
that's
it was bad. But
what an evil man.
Yeah. So I mean, like I just feel like because at one point, even when she went to one of the local hospitals, as soon as she arrived there, because it was another time that she had been beaten pretty badly. Yeah. I had already called and gave the hospital a heads up. Hey, you know, send an officer. Blah blah blah. Yeah. As soon as she walked in, the staff says, "Oh, you're the one whose boyfriend just beat her up? He's walking in right behind her." And he was like, "I didn't do that." So now she's stuck. He didn't do that. I fell. Yeah. You fell with a shoe print in your face? Like, how did you fall into a shoe print? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But so it's just like, the whole system is just needs work. Needs a lot of work.
No, it does.
And I feel like for her to like have to be the one to force him to not be around and stuff, it's just too hard. They're too deep in at that point. I feel like there needs to be a way that like you can.
Did they have children together?
They did not. Okay. She had a son, but from a previous relationship, and so that was a whole nother like heartbreak, and that's been a heartbreak for all of us because we've lost complete contact with him. He ended up going to live with his grandmother from the dad's side, and he's in a whole other state, like way across. So it's like we don't get to talk to him, we don't get to see him, and he just turned 18, I think he's about to be 18. So then we're like, okay, maybe he'll reach out to us, but he was like my nephew, he was always with us, and every birthday party, everything.
And what year did this happen?
It was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So during the process, like through the ceremony and just everything, he was with my husband and I and our kids, and then all of a sudden, like this family who he didn't even know much came and just snatched away from us, like. And our kids and everything were just traumatized all over again.
Probably when he's 18, he might come back.
Yeah. That's our hope, because he knows he's always welcome. He knows. He has to know that. So we're just hopeful for that.
He will. I think. Yeah, I believe. Mm-hmm. I think there's something too. Just like, I have like this tattooed, which is the Sangrayama. It's Spanish, but it's like the blood cause. I know you guys aren't blood, but I think there is something like people that are failing meant to get, like you can try to separate with that. And I also see like love always wins. So when it's true love, like not just romantic, but like somehow like that. Yeah. I think he'll come back. I really do.
Yeah. I feel like it too, and that's the thing. It's like we know that he remembers us. We know that like
for sure. That's because he's like 10. Yeah. It wasn't even like that. Yeah. Little.
And it was like we were the ones there through like the most traumatic time of his life, and I don't even know if he got to process it the way he should have or anything. Yeah. He was right there in the house when it happened. Like he was the one that ran to her, and he's the one like on the 911 call. He's the one you hear, and so it's just I couldn't even imagine like the pain that he went through. So I definitely just hope that someday we get to talk about it.
Yeah, so. I think you will.
Yeah,
I do. I think it's gonna. And with my kids too. My oldest, and I'm just waiting for her to turn 18. So I think it will happen.
Yeah.
So on this event, what day is the 25th? And where is it, and how can people get involved?
So it's the 25th, and it's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hexter Drive Community Club, which is right towards like the jetties or Huguenot Park.
Yes.
And you can get tickets from my website, or if you can't find them on my website, because I know sometimes it gets confusing, they can reach out to me. And then for those that can't attend but still want to support, there are options to donate or to even sponsor. So
okay, and what's going to happen at the event? For people, like, how much is it and what's going to happen there?
So the tickets are $25 each, or 40 for two people, because I know sometimes people just feel comfortable coming with a buddy. So we are going to have a butterfly release, basically in memory of victims of domestic violence, and then We are going to have a few speakers. We're going to have a couple of victims, actually, a couple of survivors speak. So those survivors, the survivors have a lot of times, but like I've already let them know. If something comes up where they need to just speak and get in and out, or vice versa, everything's going to be, organized around them. And then we do still have room for probably one or two more speakers. We do have Pace Girls Center, a representative from there that will be there, and they're going to be collecting donations as well for different clothing and things that they're in need of. And then we are hopefully going to have someone from Hubbard House there, just to hear back from them today. Okay. And then we will have some fitness activities as well. We're going to have someone there that's going to be teaching self-defense, and that's like, they're like one of the best around.
Nice.
So they are, and then 10 people are going to actually get a copy of a book that they wrote.
Okay, nice.
So, and then we'll have Chelsea with High Tide. She'll be doing a dance fitness class. And then we will have Alpha Fitness doing a little boot camp class.
Okay, very cool.
So just to kind of keep the energy up
Yeah.
and everything, but then still be able to focus on the cause.
That's really neat. So let's talk about fitness and how do you feel? Like, I know basically, like, we talk about fitness and then you like it helps with trauma, or talk about that a little bit.
So I think it absolutely helps with trauma.
I
so
agree.
There's all the therapy options and things, but
physical
and
health.
then, so whenever you hear gym therapy, like that's, I mean, it's what it is. It literally, there were times where like I just felt completely broken. I threw around some weights and I'm like, okay,
100%. And I do a lot of like now like Pilates, yoga, a lot of calisthenics, and even Izzy knows. I try to do no matter what, even on Sundays, an hour a day of working out. And then this past week, like I didn't do a couple of days, and I told Izzy, and I'm like, it's like medicinal. Even just a couple of days of me not doing an hour, my mental health is not as good as it should be.
Yeah. And I definitely agree.
I need it. Like I need an hour a day of exercise or physical. And it's. And I think just with like my trauma and everything, it's just like being in recovery. It's like if I don't have it, I don't do nearly as well. It's like a necessity.
And I feel like maybe it helps
like
us.
It
helps us get out of our own head.
Yeah, because you can't you're like pushing yourself to muscle failure.
Yes, it's because there are times where I'm like, I just need to listen to my body and take a break. Those are the worst. That's the worst advice. Like I'm listening to my body and I took a break, and now all I'm doing is like letting my mind just go wander for what, and worry about things that I have no business worrying about, things that are out of my control. Might as well have went to the gym,
100.
There's some weights around that were completely in my control. And
no, I agree with you. And then, what has been the most rewarding part of being a business owner?
So the most rewarding part is the part that everyone always says, I want to open a business so that I can have more time with my kids. And I won't say it gives you more time with your kids necessarily.
But you can make the time for important
things. And I can adjust around their schedule. So like their schedule comes first. Like it's just what it is. Like, and so there may be times where someone's like, I need you at this event, or I need you to do this, or okay, as soon as the game's over. Or as soon, like this day isn't gonna work. So these are my options. But at least I can, work around their schedules. I don't miss anything. And I was missing a lot and didn't even realize it whenever I was clocking in and clocking out every day. Because I always felt like I had to be the first one there. And I was constantly getting the office ready for everyone and stuff. And then I never felt right leaving with patients still there or just anything. And so, and then whenever I could really just be like, I can always show up. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So that's been the best part. And then right behind that would be like just the opportunity to like help others, whether it's like giving back. Like my husband and I, like we love working with the Miracle League, which is
I don't know that.
Like it's a baseball organization for it's children and adults that have special needs, whether it's Down syndrome, wheelchair bound, brain injuries, things like that, so that they still get the opportunity to go out there and play sports. So we love going out there. We love working with V for Victory, which is a local cancer organization. My son does a lot probably more than any of us with that organization. And he loves it. Like, he loves everyone that he gets to meet, and they're so thankful whenever he's able to help them out with different things around their yard or whatever it may be. But V for Victory is a nonprofit organization that focuses on helping families with cancer, whether it's the individual with cancer or their child that has cancer. They try to provide services for them that are everyday services to take it off of their mind, because they have more things to worry about. So they provide things like housekeeping, lawn care. They do some automobile work and things like that. So it's like, okay, the last thing you need, you're already having to show up for chemo and things. Last thing you need to worry about is your car being broken down.
Right.
So like they're able to help
really cool.
do a lot of that for them.
And they're out at Jacksonville?
So their main office is in St. Augustine.
Okay.
But it's honestly all over, like Fernandina, Jacksonville, kind of anywhere around the surrounding area.
One of my best friends, her daughter, she actually was diagnosed with cancer recently, went through therapy. So how, if someone was interested for family member, do they just reach out to them?
Yeah, they just reach out. They go to, I believe it's vforvictory.com. And then, but even if you just Google V for Victory, it'll pull up, and then they can apply for any services. Like it'll have a list of different services, but you can even put in the comments if they had something specific, like, oh, do you offer carpet cleaning or something like that? Like, you can put that in there, and then they'll find someone that can get there and do it.
That's really sweet. And then, so what you always seem like you're on the go. What keeps you motivated when things get tough? Those babies.
Yes, that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is the kids. They all show up, for me, and we show up for each other. And I think that people see us, and they always see us together. There were times where people used to think we were crazy. They're like, like, your kids shouldn't go on every vacation with you. Your kids shouldn't. And I'm like, but they should. They should. Yeah. And like now, my husband and I are just now getting to the point. Actually, last year was the first year we went off without our kids.
Okay.
So, we finally did it. It was very scary, very scary. But now this year, they'll tell you, we've enjoyed it. Like, once we did it once, we were like, it was actually kind of nice. Yeah. But like I said, we don't have that support system that could go hear the babysitter, Yeah. So we just want to wait till they were old enough to be self-sufficient, and then but we do take a lot of family vacations. Like, that's like a priority. It's not optional. Which it's not like it would be a hard option anyways, because our kids thankfully love hanging out with us.
Awesome.
So if they see something, we all have a shared calendar, and so if they see me put something on the calendar, they're immediately like, "Am I going to this?" Or even when I put there was the podcast today, like they're like, "Are we going to this?" And I'm like, "No, it's just me." So, but they I feel like that's like the big thing is like all of us just being in support of each other, in sync. So.
Oh, that's amazing. And then, what's next for gym therapy, and are there any other new ventures or projects on the horizon?
So for gym therapy, I do have some new release items. I actually have had them sitting there for way longer than I should have. I just haven't had the opportunity to set up like a photo shoot and get the models organized and all the things. So I'm honestly thinking about delegating that to let someone else handle, just because I have a lot on my plate right now. But we do have some new release items. And then as far as the roofing, we do have some big plans coming in 2026, so we're really excited for those, but we don't want to speak on them too soon.
No, I get
let
that.
them all work out all the kinks and get it all situated.
So you may or may not be able to answer this next question. So I ask every guest the same last two questions, and the first one is always, it talks about in Psalms that a man without a vision perishes. So I always think it's really important to have vision to the future. So what is your vision for 5 years from now for you, your business, your family?
Okay, for 5 years, I definitely, I think my oldest will be nursing by then. I think she'll, that's the route that she's currently on, and that's kind of her goal. And then, but for us as a whole, I do think the lawn care and the roofing are probably going to all kind of come together by that time. I think it's going to be like organization that has multiple specialties within it.
Like a corporation.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so that's kind of what our 5-year plan is. We want to, eventually be able to just handle anything that a homeowner
That's
may
awesome.
need.
That's really cool.
So that's kind of our real 5-year goal. And then as far as gym therapy goes in 5 years, depending on what my youngest is thinking, I'm probably leaning towards her running a lot more of that.
Okay, that's
Unless she has better plans, obviously.
Yes.
Their plans are always better than
Yes.
mine, and that's what I want. Like, that's
For
what I want
sure,
from them. I always want their
100%.
plans to
Yeah.
be bigger than mine.
That's what I always say too. Is whatever the kids want to do. And then the final question: is there a quote or a saying or something that you live by, or that you think is good that you want to share?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many. So definitely the whole teamwork. I feel like we work together so well as a team. We're, obviously it's a family unit. But even my son's best friend, he's like a son to us. He's like a second son to us. And so I feel like working as a team, dream team.
Yeah.
And then
teamwork makes the
yes,
dream work.
Yes. And then let's see. I feel like there's just so many. I definitely feel like, God is the way. Like, I could tell some stories, and I'll save those for another day. But there were times where I was on my kitchen floor, like, show me the way, like, and then now I'm
always does.
Now I'm like, look at this, look what he did, look what he did, because we definitely couldn't have done this. Like,
I know, and I think that's when you know it's from God, because you couldn't have done it on your own. Yeah,
we couldn't have, like, at all. Like, my husband and I literally came from, like, we were at a stage, like, when we moved out in high school, me and high school kids, having our own rent, having to work, go to school, we had nothing. Like, there were nights where we were like, how are we going to eat? Okay, well, we can get free lunch at school today, like, whatever. And it's like, and to go from that to being like, okay, like, what do you want for dinner tonight? Or, it's just, like, those, like, things that people just take for granted. It's like, I try to never take it for granted. Because I'm like, there were days that I was like, we will never survive. And now I'm like, look at us, we're thriving. We're not surviving, we're thriving. So,
that's awesome. Well, thank you for being a guest on Feliciano and Friends. And I'm like, glad I just learned a lot about you I didn't know. And I think we have more in common than I realized too. So
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And then just, you can go ahead and plug any and all businesses and how they can contact you.
Okay, so for Jordan Roofing, it's Jordan Roofing LLC at gmail.com is our email. And then social media, Instagram and Facebook is Jordan Roofing LLC. And then the lawn care is just Jordan Lawn Care on Instagram as well as on Facebook. And then gym therapy is shopgymtherapy.com. You can always email me at sales, SALES, at shopgymtherapy.com. And that goes for just anything, whether it's if you're looking for information on any upcoming like scholarship opportunities I may have, whether you're looking for just like maybe some insight, especially teenagers. I know I actually had some local high school students ask me if I would go speak at their podcast.
That's cool.
Because they had reached out to me about like how to start their own businesses and stuff. They were like, you provide this for free? Everyone else was trying to charge. And I'm like, no, we all need somebody. At some point, we all need somebody. And I can do my best to be that somebody for, as many people as I can, just so that they know that there's a way. There's a way. If I can make a way, anyone can make a way. Well,
thank you so much. Thanks for watching, guys.